What's going on, guys? Plastic Beach X3 back here with a Beetrooper combo video. I'm going to do some test hands. Before we start going into the combos, I wanted to mention I made a few changes to the deck. So if you go back on my channel, watch the deck profile and see what I'm working with. I'm going to tell the changes that I've made since then. I thought about cutting Primitive Butterfly for either another Comungus or Insectipede, or Godarla. But this card is pretty versatile in the form that it does essentially three things for you. It's an extender when you open it. It procs Cicada King, which I talked about in the deck profile, and it's a wind 1200, so that gets over the barrier statue, the wind barrier statue that people are playing. If you want to play Godarla, you're pretty much wanting to play Godarla because you want to get over the wind barrier statue. But this card has two other effects, or two other uses in the deck, so it's kind of just better than Godarla. I added Comungus from the side to the main. I was playing two for a little bit just because you can tribute over opponent's monster and then add another Comungus and then summon it for an extender. And because it's a level 7, you can overlay it with Sting Lancer into Titanic Moth and attack directly and then summon Zeus. But I think just summoning a Comungus and then their card goes to the graveyard, so with your Resonance, instead of searching another Comungus, you can search a Sting Lancer. And since they have a monster in the graveyard because you tributed it, you can summon Sting Lancer. So I felt like that was just better because Sting Lancer gets you the +1 off of the search. We'll see though. I might add another one because I think that plays kind of cool into Titanic Moth. But you can still do it since you're still playing the Kaiju. And then I thought about cutting these two for Insectipede. Contact Sea will definitely go in the side. I just don't know how good it is in locals right now because not a lot of people play like too much meta. I mean, obviously there's a couple of Drytron, a couple of Tri-Brigade players, a couple of Prank Kids players, but you already have a couple of blowout cards in the deck. So this might just go to the side for Insectipede. And then Arbalest, just as he's kind of your worst normal summon. He's a normal summon you want to summon on turn 2 or on turn 3. Yeah, because he kind of needs a setup for him to be like decent, and like your setup involves you normal summoning already. But this is what I'm playing right now. Yeah, like I said, if you don't go back and look at the deck profile to see what I'm working with, to see like what I have options whenever I'm doing these combo hand, what my options are. But we're gonna start it off with just a couple of shuffles. Sorry about the lighting. Last video was a lot of glare. And so I turned off this overhead light and then turned on some other lights and opened up the window for sun view or sunlight. Put that there. There's that extra deck right here. Okay, so our first 5 are Arbalest, Ash, Pot, Scale Bomber, and Ash. Okay, so obviously we're going to Pot first. Hand's pretty abysmal right now. So we're gonna Pot. We're gonna put, I usually like to take out those 3 because you're already playing 2 Cicada and Corbage is kind of situational, and so is the Halberd. So Pot into Flying Sting, Sting Lancer, and Resonance. I think Sting Lancer is by far the best choice because we have Scale Bomber to Chain Block. So normal summon Sting, activate anything on summon, no, activate the effect, chain, Scale Bomber. So you Ash protect, oh shoot. So you protect your Sting Lancer. So we really don't have any more extenders in our hand. So we're gonna grab Pin. From here, we're going to make the Armor Horn. Activate Armor Horn effect if they negate it. Oh, like I forgot to say, but I'm not going to be playing around hand traps, but I'll try to talk about like what situations are bad for you or like choke points, and like again how you can play through hand traps if they come up. But in this scenario, if they hand trap us, all we can do really if they hand trap us on Armor Horn's effect, we're just going to be able to summon Pin, and that doesn't really get us anywhere. But since they don't hand trap us, we're going to summon this, summon Arbalest effect, summon back Sting. We can make these two into Pico. We can't draw off Pico because we activated Prosperity. Pico effect on summon. Send the Ash Blossom because we have 2 of them. To equip Resonance to Armor Horn. And again, we can't draw, so in this, like usually you would be drawing here, you would be shuffling back 3 and then drawing, but we can't because we Prosperity. So we're going to link 4 into Atlas, Resonance effect in Graveyard to add a level 5 or higher bug. Let's see what we need. I think we're good with just adding Sting Lancer. I think that's fine for a hand trap next turn, or if they try to hand trap our Atlas, or if they haven't already done something like that as an extender or a hand trap for next turn. And then now we can summon our pin from our hand that we drew or that we added off Sting. Atlas effect to tribute pin and summon Sting Lancer. Sting Lancer's effect to add us the counter trap. And then we can activate Armor Horn in Graveyard, banishing 3 for cost. Yeah, I think pin just good. Summoning this, and then activating Resonance to send YuGiOh. YuGiOh to the graveyard, and then YuGiOh's effect to add Retaliating Sea for another hand trap. And then we're going to link. This gets banished because we summoned it from the graveyard. And then we can link into Papillion. Papillion effect. Put 2 counters on it. If I can find it, there it is. And then I think we just set the Flying Sting and then pass our turn. So we end our turn with an Ash Blossom that we drew for our first 5. So that's a negate. Retaliating Sea for Drytron, Prank Kids, and the like. And then just like a good searcher follow up for next turn, and then Sting Lancer for like a DD Crow type hand trap, and then it also searches our field spell for a follow up next turn. And then Papillion on our opponent's standby phase. We pass our opponent's standby phase. We're going to activate Papillion, putting it to 1, and non-targeting. People don't know this, but Papillion doesn't target any monster in your graveyard, so if they like DD Crow in response, you can just choose a different card. But usually you're going to summon Sting, so that Sting can tribute Papillion, because it has to tribute another monster to negate to target a card and negate it. And then obviously you have this guy. Next turn, when it's our turn again, we can let's say we use Flying Sting, and let's say that they got rid of Papillion, or that maybe we use Sting or something. I think it's really, in this situation, it's really cool you have Sting on board. You have multiple ways to summon Sting, so maybe this isn't the exact scenario, but okay, this is our end board for our starting board for our next turn. So we have Sting. On our turn, we can tribute Invincible Atlas with its own effect to summon Scale Bomber. And now we're not locked into bugs because Atlas makes you can only summon bugs on your opponent's turn, or on your turn. So now we can link Sting and Scale Bomber into Halki-Fibrax. Halki-Fibrax summon the 1 effect Veiler we play for this exact scenario. And then into Selene, the classic Selene access code combo. So that's a pretty good, easy turn 2 access code, because you're already summoning Sting, and a lot of people don't know that Atlas contribute itself, so that fact that Atlas can contribute itself actually comes up quite a lot. I'll show you another scenario. Another hand where it comes up is if you open Flying Sting. So let's just put everything back except for Flying Sting. Shuffle up and see what we can do with opening Flying Sting. See if I can show it off with the hand I get. So put everything back, put the 3 banished. So we're gonna act like we drew Flying Sting, Pin, Sting, Arbalest, and Retaliating Sea. So first we're going to summon Pin, get our search. I'm not sure if it matters if they hand trap us, because we do have Pin and a couple good normal summons off of Pin, or off of Armor Horn. So we're gonna add Twin Bow, summon Twin Bow because they know we searched it, and we're only summoning insects this turn anyway. I would go into Armor Horn, and then we can go, I would say activate Armor Horn, summon Arbalest because we drew it. I hate drawing Arbalest twice because it is a 1-of, but I mean, it's what happened, so whatever, we'll work with it. Summon back Sting, make these 2 into Pico. Pico effect to discard Flying Sting because you can just revive it on your in phase. That's why it's really good. It's not bad to draw because you can just discard off Pico, set it on your in phase, on this turn's in phase. Oh shoot, what is this? Oh, whoops. But you can set it on this turn's in phase, so it's just a generically good discard. We're going to equip Armor Horn with Retaliating Sea, or Resonance Insect. And then activate Pico, shuffling these 3 back, and drawing a card. See what we get. Another Resonance, okay. Link 4 into Atlas, Resonance effect to add, I think we want Sting Lancer just for the extension and hand trap for next turn. We're already pretty much set on our board. So now we can I would activate Atlas, tributing itself. So this is like what changes if you open the hand trap. You can tribute Atlas to summon itself, or tribute Atlas to summon Sting Lancer, add the field spell. So now we have this. This is our graveyard. Now we have a Bullseye. We can summon Bullseye. If we didn't open Bullseye, we could have summoned Atlas back with formation, and we would still have him for Flying Sting. Yep, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to summon Pin. I think we just make these 2 into... Oh, no. We don't make those 2 into anything. So maybe just keep Pin in your hand. Activate the field spell. Effect of the field spell to summon back your Atlas. And now your Flying Sting is live. Is there anything we can do to... If they hand trapped us, we could have summoned Sting. We could also just have added Doomdozer and had extension. But the problem with adding Doomdozer in this situation is that we don't have Sting the Poison in our graveyard. Obviously, we could banish these 2 for Doomdozer, send Sting the Poison, but then we would have to banish Sting the Poison for Armor Horn. And that would just make it like, why would you even go that far? Because you're not doing anything out of it. So I think this might just be our ending board. So on in phase, you can banish the Resonance to set Flying Sting because you control a 3,000 or higher insect. That will send you your GoKeepole, and then GoKeepole will add you another hand trap in the form of Retaliating Sea. So we went with 5 cards in our hand. We already had Retaliating Sea, so maybe we could have added like Arbalest, which might have been just better for a follow-up. So yeah, probably add Arbalest instead since we opened Retaliating. But end with 5 cards nevertheless. 2 of them hand traps, 1 of them's a follow-up if you had Arbalest instead. And then Retaliating Sea also floats when it goes to the graveyard, plus you have the counter trap. Yeah, you're not ending on Papilloperative, that's an old card. Papillion, but you're still ending on like the normal Beetrooper board, just not with the Sting in the graveyard. So for this next one, I want to open Rivalry. So this is gonna be the last one, and we're just gonna pretend that Primitive Butterfly is a card called Parasite Paranoid, which I talked a lot about in my deck profile. But what it essentially does is that it's a level 4, or it's a level 2, Earth, 400 attack, searchable off Retaliating Sea. And it quick effect from the hand equips itself to an opponent's monster and makes it an insect, and that monster cannot activate effects that would target bugs on the field. So it's essentially a lock with Rivalry if you open it. So we're going to pretend like we sided that card in, and Primitive Butterfly is what we sided out. So we open Retaliating, Sting, Pin, and Ash. Okay. So we're going to summon Sting. Since we already have Pin, we're going to add Twin Bow. There's an argument for adding Arbalest, but if your Link 2 gets negated, then you're kind of screwed because you'll have 2 normal summons in hand. So now we can summon Arbalest. We're locked into insects. Summon Armorhorn. Armorhorn, summon Retaliating Sea. Now, if we didn't open Retaliating Sea, let's actually not open Retaliating Sea because it kind of defeats the purpose of this test hand. Let's just draw any other card, because I want to show you guys what you can do. Okay, that's fine. So we're gonna summon Pin. Is that fine though? Summon Pin. So actually, if we don't draw the normal summon, we would probably search off of Sting. We would probably search Arbalest because we need a normal summon for to continue to play. So we probably search Arbalest instead of Twin Bow because we didn't open Retaliating Sea like we originally did. So instead of summoning Twin Bow, we just summon Pin with Sting, Sting, Pin, make Armorhorn, Armorhorn effect, hopefully don't negate it. Summon back one of the 2, and then make Pico. Pico effect, discard one of your hand traps. Probably Veiler because Celine can summon Veiler back from the graveyard. And equip Resonance. Maybe we should discard Ash. Yeah, I think Ash is just better because in the case we don't use it, I think Needle Fiber can summon from hand. If I'm wrong about that, then it doesn't really matter. You're discarding a hand trap. Do we have 3 engrave? Yep. So we can use Pico here. Sometimes you just don't want to use Pico because, oh wait, damn, I forgot the whole reason we were even showing this. But instead of Resonance, we're equipping Retaliating. And then we shuffle those 3 back, draw. But instead of Resonance, because we did open Rivalry, we're going to equip Armorhorn with Retaliating Sea. And then we draw a card. Scout Buggy. Okay, it's fine. Follow up for next turn. So now we can summon Link 4 into Big Boy Atlas. Retaliating Sea searches us our proxy for Paranoid or Parasite Paranoid. And if we had any other extender, we could summon it. We could summon it, use Atlas to pop it, and then summon Sting Lancer, get our search. But I think in this exact scenario, because if we use him to tribute himself, he can summon Sting Lancer. Sting Lancer will have to add the spell because we want him on our inboard. So there will be really no point. You would just have an extra Sting Lancer in the field spell setup because you're not getting the counter trap because you just need to search the field spell. So yeah, but I think this will just be enough. Set Rivalry. On our opponent's turn, they normal summon a monster. Activate Rivalry. Chain. Parasite Paranoid. Equip to the monster, and now they're locked out of bugs, and that just gets us there for the next turn. We'll have Scout Buggy, and we have a Veiler, and we draw into Resonance. So those are the combos. I plan on doing a couple more of these. I know this one was pretty messy, but I hope you guys understood what I was trying to show with just a regular test hand in the beginning, and then showing you how Parasite Paranoid would work with Rivalry if you open it, and what happens, the uses of tributing Invincible Atlas to get his effect, because it's kind of cool. But leave a comment for any criticisms or whatever. I'll try to respond, and yeah, make sure you subscribe. Have a good day.